I hope the noise is indicative that some of you are just about finished eating. The time is passing, so we thought we ought to get on with the event. This event is sponsored by the Owens Campus Development Council, and I'd like to introduce to you the members who are present here today. They will not be offended if you hold your applause until they've all been introduced. Dr. Lewis Owens and his wife Carol, who, as I said before, is our fearless leader. Philip Bills, Marlene Elliott Brown, Pat Campbell White, Vicki Monahan, Merrill Moore, Rob Ryder, Stell Parker Selby, Stell Sell somewhere, yeah. Connie Wirtz, Rosie Barbarian, and Mike South. Now you may have problems. We also have a member of the Council's Professional Advisors Committee, and that's with us, and that's Jane Staten. I think it's also appropriate to recognize the following people. Representative Ruth Briggs King and her husband Stan. Are you here? Thought you expect, sorry. Sussex County Councilman Vance Phillips, I know he's here, saw him. Again, a Delaware Tech trustee, Dr. Bucky Owens, who you've met. Former chairman of the board of the college, Judge Richard Stokes, and his wife Sally. Judge Stokes. College President Mark Brainard, who we will hear from later. Vice President and Campus Director, Dr. Ileana Smith. And Vice President for Institutional Effectiveness and College Relations, Dr. Judy Seipel. You are truly a special group of people, donors and friends of Delaware Tech, and we're here today to say thank you, to let all of you know you are valued and appreciated by this college. This is a time to let you see how your investment is working. We hope that you are proud of the return your investment is now returning here. Today, we will be inducting new members into our Legacy Society. The Legacy Society at Delaware Tech is a distinguished group of individuals who contribute cumulative lifetime gifts of at least $50,000 and/or have announced their intention to leave a gift to the college through various estate planning vehicles. If you'd like to do that, you can contact Jason after the meal, and he'll be happy to help you get into that society. Present today, we have with us some members of that society, and we'd like to introduce them. Joanne Adams. You there, Joanne? Are you here? Joanne Adams. Philip Bills. Philip, I don't see Philip. Representing the Freeman Foundations, Doug Phillips and Melissa Reiser. Gail Garbett. Joe and Chris Hudson. Hi, Joe. Ruthie Joseph. Nancy Kastner. See Nancy, oh, there you go. Okay. And representing Dr. Charles F. Moore, Edith Wright. Pete and Georgianne Oakley. Again, Bucky and Carol Owens. Bucky's a big hero today. And Jill Taylor. Thank you to those people. It is now my honor to introduce the college president, Dr. Mark Brainard. Dr. Brainard became the 5th president of Delaware Technical and Community College in this past August. His connection to Delaware Tech is intimate and lengthy. He is a Delaware Tech graduate himself and has built on that to accumulate multiple degrees and serve in several leadership roles throughout the state. His training, experience, and commitment promise good things for the college into the future. Dr. Brainard.
Thank you, Ed, for that kind introduction. It's always a good day for me when I start here at the Owens campus. Reconnecting with some friends earlier, some of you might remember that I, for a time, worked for the Delaware State Senate. And one of my bosses, the late, great Senator Thurman Adams, used to say, the most important thing to improve the life of Sussex Countyans was the creation of Delaware Tech. And he used to tell me as a very young man how important it was here, and I used to say back to him it was very important to me too, Senator, because I'm a graduate. And it's always a great thing to start my day at the Owens campus where everything started for Delaware Tech as well. So thank you for that introduction. It's great to be here. My job is to welcome you and to say the words thank you as many times as humanly possible over the next 5 minutes. So first, a congratulations and a thank you to our Legacy Society members. Ed already introduced them, but congratulations to this year's inductees, Jane Knaus and Cynthia Myers, who have made a bequest commitment, and they're both attending here this afternoon, so thank you very much and congratulations. Also, the Irene P. Sorbara Foundation. That foundation has given funds over the past few years for nursing and education students in Sussex County through the trust management by PNC Wealth Management. And we have representatives from PNC here today as well. And a special thank you to Pat Campbell-White, who was very instrumental in having them involved with Delaware Tech and our students. So again, thank you for being here and thank you for everything that you do. A special thank you to our donors. This is your event. And in a few minutes, you're going to hear from our students, and you're going to connect the things that you've been doing for them, and you're going to hear just how those investments that you make in our students are paying off. Thank you to our Development Council members. I don't have another cake, so I can't top the first thank you that you received. But remember, our Development Council members, they're donors, but they also invest their time and their energy and their expertise. And we thank all of you. Again, thank you to our Legacy Society members. Thank you to our partners in the community. Ileana and her entire team work tirelessly making connections in the community so that we have partnerships and we have access to not only resources for our students, but opportunities for our students upon graduation. So thank you for all of our partners in the community. A special thank you to my colleagues here at Delaware Tech. Ileana, her administrative team, faculty, administrators, librarians, every single member of the Delaware Tech team who not only comes here, works hard every single day serving our students, but they're also donors. And the fact that they're sitting here today participating in this means a lot to us. Obviously, the most important function today is what we're going to hear in a few minutes. Ileana and I were sharing and reflecting upon the stories we heard last year. And I have to say, it's very easy to say that events like this are my favorite events, but they truly are, because I find myself remembering the stories that are told by the students that you will hear from a little later. And when Ileana and I were reflecting on the ones from last year, she reminded me that the young lady who told the story about thinking that she had to drop out because she couldn't afford the daycare expenses and the tuition and fees was reconnected with someone here at the campus, and thanks to your generosity, she was able to graduate last year, and she's working now. So again, we come full circle. I think of the senator and his comments and his observations. We hear the stories from our students, but it's all made possible thanks to your generosity. So thank you all for being here.
I'm going to try to go high-tech here. I hope this doesn't turn off as I try to talk with you. But good afternoon. It is wonderful to have you all here today, and I thank Mark for his example, his leadership. I also have to thank Ed, and he didn't introduce himself, so let me now have you help me recognize Ed and his wife Marge as Legacy Society members. You know, Mark said today's about saying thank you. And what a pleasure it is for us to have you all together and be able to say that. Say it time and time again. We are so grateful to all of you. What you do for this college matters. And, you know, this small way that we have of bringing you together, having lunch together, means a great deal because we are truly, truly grateful for what you do. And want you to know what a difference you're making. It is your generosity that makes very important things happen, things that we couldn't, you know, afford to do. You've made the difference buying instructional equipment, also being able to add services for our students. Your support has enabled that. You've enabled us to expand our facilities with new buildings and renovations. And of course, the scholarships that you give make a world of difference for our students. And you've not only supported them with scholarships for tuition, but even scholarships to buy books. And that makes such a huge difference in the education of a student who has financial need. We want you to know that we put your gifts to work. We really do. And we hold ourselves accountable. We hold ourselves accountable for your investment. You have given us your support, but we know you've also given us your trust. And we take that very seriously. We highly respect that. And we commit to you that we're going to make you proud. We always are mindful of the responsibility in having your investment and returning to you what you wanted to see happen, and you're changing lives. So today is about saying that thank you. And it's very important for us, Mark, myself, Development Council, to tell you all those words. But we know that nothing is more meaningful to you than to see the real people and to know the real stories of the lives that you are helping. So, Jenna Hitchens is a communications major who is the president of the Future Farmers of America Club right here on campus. She participated in a study abroad trip to Russia. She works 2 jobs while going to school. She volunteers as a cheerleading coach, for youth. She is a cheerleader. She cares for 23 sheep. She is a dancer, a hunter, and a fisherwoman. Is that a word? Fisherwoman. That's Jenna. Andre Ervin will be a radiologic technologist. This is his first year in the program, and he is presently doing clinicals in Kent General. Andre moved to Delaware in 2007, and this is his second associate degree after serving our country as a Marine, working as a technician in the field of hydrogeology, and Andre also owned his own asset management company for 19 years. Heidi Maradiaga is an education major studying middle-level math. She has a 4.0 GPA, is taking 23 credits this semester Let me tell you that a full-time load is 12. She is the vice president of the college's Honor Society. She is a mother of 4 children, works as a student success aide, and makes time to be the chef, taxi driver, and chief cheerleader for her kids. Keron Robinson is a diagnostic medical sonography major. He moved to Delaware from Jamaica 2 years ago, leaving the comfort of his family and his friends to achieve his dream. He is the vice president of the Student Government Association, an honor student. He plays soccer, and he works on campus. He values the opportunity that our country offers, and he wants to contribute in the medical field that he loves. Tearsha Morin will graduate in May with a criminal justice degree. She is the mother of 2 children. She works 2 jobs, is the president of the Criminal Justice Club, and is a 4.0 honor student who came to the college after years of working as a retail manager and as a certified nursing assistant. So, are you thinking of running away, or is this as bad as, huh? It's not as bad as you thought. A little bad, a little nerve-wracking, where you're going to be just fine. We're so glad that you guys are here, and aren't you a nice audience? They're a very nice, supportive audience, and really, thank you for being with us today. So why don't we start talking about all of you? Can we start with you, Jenna?
Of course we can.
Okay, all right. So Jenna came to Delaware Tech directly after high school, and you came to be a nurse.
Yeah, originally.
But what happened to the nurse?
I don't do blood and bones and all that. And I mean, I really liked helping people, so I was like, okay, nursing. And I sat in my anatomy class and we had to look at pictures, and I was like, not my thing.
All right, so then you needed the college to help you figure out your
Yeah.
career.
Yeah.
All right? And I hear that you now love your major,
Yes, I absolutely love all my classes and all my instructors.
and I think you're a woman with a plan.
Yes,
Because
I am.
you know the specific job
Yes, I do.
that you're going to be ready to take over
Mhm.
when the person's ready to retire.
Which is hopefully soon.
Hopefully, when are you graduating?
I graduate in May, so I'm hoping.
Okay, well, I mean, this is pretty good planning and pretty good preparation, so why don't you tell us about it?
Well, I'm sure some of you have seen it. I'm not sure if all of you have seen it, but there's an Outdoors Delmarva show, and I am after Captain Willie's job. That is what I want to do. I want to be a news anchor on an outdoor show. That is my job, and he better watch out. So, coming for it.
Are you going to be prepared? How are you going to be prepared?
Well, I've been fishing and hunting since I was little. I actually caught that tuna in the picture myself and reeled it in. So, and it comes up to here on me. So that was pretty cool. But also, I'm a communications major, so I deal with learning all the behind the scenes and in front of the camera stuff. So hopefully he'll be ready to retire by the time I graduate. Or I might have to give him a little push.
And what are you doing here on campus, your classes, and what else are you doing to really help you be ready for that job?
I am the Student Success Aide for Marketing and Public Relations. It's a long title. And pretty much I go around and take pictures. I do all the marketing and fun stuff behind the scenes. I hang up all the posters that you guys walk by.
And you're in classes too?
Yes, I'm in 4 classes, I believe,
Okay.
as well as FFA and 2 clubs that I accidentally joined.
Okay. Well, I think you can see that she's not only getting prepared, but, you know, she's certainly learning a lot about leadership and determination and getting a lot of practice in speaking. You'll go far, Jenna.
Oh, thank you.
Andre, can we talk with you here? Absolutely. Good for you. So, Andre, you have lived in different places, California, here, all over the country, and you've had multiple successful careers in your life.
Multiple careers, successful. Yeah.
Okay. Is this pumpkin in your way? You guys want to move the pumpkin? Down? Jenna to the rescue. Thank you
Fisherwoman
very
to the
much.
rescue.
All right. There you go. We don't want to hide Andre. So, Andre, you're here now, and you're restarting your life.
Yes.
It's a new place. It's a new college. And you're going back to school.
Yeah, I've returned to school primarily because I had an asset management company and we maintained foreclosed properties in Baltimore. And it's a much larger density, population density. So moving here, my primary goal for moving here was to help take care of my in-laws as they continue to age. And we're doing that. But we had previously visited Sussex County, specifically Rehoboth, for like 20 years. My sister-in-law has a B&B there. And we would come down on our anniversary, so we thought all of Sussex County was like Rehoboth. And you know, when we finally moved here, we built a house with my in-laws, and as their health declined, we decided we really needed to find better jobs. I still work for some of my clients, but it's very minimal work, and so I decided I might want to go back to school. It's a very long story. You've only just heard just a little bit of the story, but the long and short of it is when I returned to college, having already completed one college degree many, many years ago, once I pulled my transcript, I realized I didn't really do that well, even though I did graduate. And I didn't remember much of my instructors. At Del Tech, it's been a phenomenal experience for me personally, and an emotional one, because all of you folks sitting here don't see what our instructors do for us as students. Even as a returning student, I feel connected to them in a way, a community way, that I've never felt with any instructors ever. So, in my life, and that means a lot to me because I left my home in Baltimore, moved to Delaware, and found a new family, basically. So I am very appreciative of all of the things that you guys do, although I had to start at the beginning, and I still have a long way to go. So I'm really excited about being here.
I think when we talked, you're really excited about your choice of career. It may be the most rewarding one of all, huh?
Yeah, it's going to be so much different than anything I've ever done before. I've had some surgeries, so having, you know, the desire to get into radiology actually was sort of fostered by some of the technologists that helped me while I was recovering. So, and here in Sussex County, I actually worked at BB as a volunteer in the radiology department, and that actually furthered my desire to continue with the major choice.
We're glad you're here.
Thank you.
And very glad when we're going to see you walking across that stage.
It's going to be a great day.
It will be. Heidi, you ready? Heidi told me she can talk, but she doesn't like talking about herself. So you're going to be fine. So Heidi, you take the highest level math courses that we offer, right?
Yeah.
Like what?
Calculus, discrete math. Math's my thing. English, you know, commas, I don't get them. I don't know where they belong. But I can solve a quadratic equation.
Well, you can solve them quite well because you have what? Straight A's in all your courses.
Yeah.
Yet, you dropped out of high school.
I did.
You married young and had children. You faced divorce. and you were working at a construction company to support your family. What has motivated you to be what you are today? And how has this college enabled you to do it?
When I was working for the construction company, my boss said, Heidi, you have, at that time, 2 children. You're going through a divorce. What are you going to do for them? You don't have your high school diploma. I was like, well, you know, it's kind of hard. I'm a single parent now. I have to raise my kids. He goes, no, your job is to be a role model for your kids. And the only way you can do that is to go back to school. So my employer, because he actually hired me, he came to me because I was bilingual. He said, you need to go to high school, and if I have to pay for you to go back, you're going to go back. So I went back. I got my high school diploma through James H. Groves, and he said, but it can't end there. But then life happened, things happened, and then I had a baby, and he's now not a baby. He's a 5-year-old, my baby still, but I have another baby, so he's not my baby anymore. And he had a lot of health issues, and it kind of prevented going to work and doing things. But when he got to preschool, I knew because he was special, and he has, he's on the autism spectrum, but we're not exactly sure where, and he has some other issues, and I was looking for a preschool for him, and everybody in Sussex County says, you live in Georgetown, the best preschool for your child is at Delaware Tech. If you can get into the Child Development Center and get into Del Tech, you're gonna be set. So I harassed Lori Beecham for about probably a month, and I was like, I need a spot in your daycare. And I said, he has an IEP, and that was like the golden words, IEP. Yes, we can provide you services, please come over here. And she was like, well, what are you doing with your life? Like, what are you doing? I was like, well, I work for a landscaping company. No, I see so much more in you. Do you realize we have a scholarship on campus called Little Scholars, and you can come to school, get a degree, and your children can go to daycare, and we can help you pay for it. And I was like, lights started going off, and I was like, oh yeah, I can do this. If you're gonna pay for me to go to school, I'm gonna go to school and I'm gonna do it right. So that's 23 credits in a semester. I will finish this spring. So it's gonna, 2-year degree, it's gonna be completed in 2 years because you guys have paid for me to come here. So my grades honor you.
Hey, Ron, I believe this man's a thinker and a planner, and you have demonstrated exemplary discipline and maturity. You have figured out the value of the associate degree and the path from here to work and from here to advanced degrees. I think he gets the Delaware Tech advantage. So would you tell us your thinking?
Sure.
Are you on?
Yep, I'm on. Now, it's funny that you mentioned discipline, because it definitely takes a lot of discipline to leave your family, friends, and everybody that you've grown up with in your home country to go to another country to pursue your dreams. And I did it. And was it hard? Yes, it was. But, you know, you just pretty much got to know what you want in life and go after it. Now, the unfortunate thing in Jamaica is that, first of all, let me say that there are some very smart kids in Jamaica. And these kids, they get packed with all this education, and then they finish high school, and then that's pretty much the end of the road for most of them. Now, some of them do get the opportunity to go on to, you know, tertiary level institutions to where they go to the universities or whatever, and then they get packed with even more education, and then afterwards, no jobs. Right, so I was very fortunate to where I got the opportunity to come here to go to school, but then when I got that opportunity, the question arose, what path do I take? And that's where it really required some thinking. And I did have the option to go to a 4-year university, and then hopefully after that, go to med school. And that option was on the table, as I said, or I had the option to come here. Now, let me say, I'm not sponsoring myself to come to school here. Years, friends that my family have for years, they're the ones that are sponsoring me to go to college here, right? And as I said, they did give me the option to go to a 4-year university. And did I take that option? No. Because I like to think that there's nothing wrong with dreaming as big as you possibly can, but the thing is, I dream big, but you have to be realistic at the same time. And I know that I can't afford to go to med school right now after finishing a 4-year degree. So the way that I broke it down was, if I go to Del Tech and got an associate degree in an allied health program, that's a start, right? And then a lot of people, from my understanding, a lot of people don't know about these connected degrees that we have here, to where you finish your associates here, then you transfer to a 4-year university, you get a bachelor's there, and then move on. A lot of people don't know about that. Now, the way I thought it out was, I come here, get an associate's degree, I have something. Worst comes to worst, I can go out and work as a tech somewhere and make some money, make a decent income. That's not what I plan to do, however. You have the opportunity to move on to a university, get my 4-year degree, and my major is diagnostic medical sonography, so I get my 4-year degree in allied health after doing my associates here, and then that lays a perfect foundation for me to apply to med school. So I'm still, but at every step of the way, I have something to fall back on if worse should come to worse, and I have to go out and work. So that's the way that I think about it. And then now when I go to med school, because I am going to go to med school and complete it, I mean, when I finish med school, I'm not going to be the doctor that went to community college. I'm going to be Dr. Robinson, just like everybody else. And that's the way that I like to think about it. And then I could probably say that Delaware Tech is where it all started. So that's how I think about it. And it's all thanks to you guys. So.
So we're down to Tearsha. Hi, Tearsha.
Hi. Hello.
You told me that you didn't believe in yourself. You said that you lacked courage and that you felt at one point in your life that you were living someone else's dream. You saw yourself as a C student with a learning disability, but Tearsha, I don't see that person now. I see a woman who's going to make her dream a reality. Why don't you tell us about that dream and the college's role in what's a wonderful change in you?
Yes, all of what you said is true. It took courage to whisper what I really truly want to be in life. Since I was in middle school, I've wanted to be an attorney. And my family had different ideas. It was a family of nurses, and that's what you did, or you were a nun. So I took the nursing route and did my CNA, and that all comes very naturally to me, and it's very easy. I'm a caregiver by nature, and also it's been modeled to me generation after generation. So the courage came where I had to literally whisper to somebody 2 years ago that my dream was important and that I wanted to be an attorney. And so I thought, well, where can I do this? I have 2 children. Where can I do this and still be the full-time mom that I am, do the job that I'm doing? So I went to Wilmington University, and that's where I thought I would start. Well, to my dismay, they don't start with a 2-year degree, and I wasn't ready to go into their 4-year. So they directed me to Delaware Tech, and quite honestly, I thought, oh, a community college. Not so sure that my attorney career is going to look at that so highly. But let's try it. We're going to start somewhere. That's better than nothing. From the very time I walked in the doors over at the Student Service Center to today, there has been no one that has believed in me more than myself than here at this university. Every single person had more faith in myself than I did when I walked in these doors. I came in here as a student that barely passed high school, ended up getting, well, I didn't pass, I got my GED. So And did that with C's and not very good grades. I'm dyslexic, which I try not to tell anybody now. And so from that time on, everyone was very supportive. They said, oh, you can do this. They directed me where I needed to go to make the best choices for myself. And they've never let me down. There's no one that I've come in contact with, and I will graduate in May, that has doubted or been discouraging or thought, well, you should go somewhere else or you should make a different plan for yourself. There hasn't been anybody like that. Everybody has been uplifting and encouraging. And that's one of the reasons I don't want to leave this college. I don't want to leave Owens campus. I want to stay here. I want to get my bachelor's. I want to go to law school here. So I appreciate all of you donors. I am doing it to the best of my ability because you've made this possible. If you want to start a law school here, I would appreciate that as well. But that's how the college has been supportive to me, and they help me every day in this role. And not only through my academics, you know, this college recognizes people that have families and careers outside of their academic, degrees that they're trying to get. And they work with you. If you need something, you go to them, you talk to them. The communication is very important.
What an inspiring story here in Tearsha. Thank you all 5 of you, for really showing us the wonderful, wonderful people that you are. I think they are proof, living proof, that an investment in Delaware Tech pays valuable return. And you know what, guys? I think your stories are the best thank you that we could give these donors. Don't you think that? Thank you, guys. You can leave. All right, we can go on down. All right. So now we're going to turn to the legacy induction. Here's our development director, Jason Bentley.
Thank you, and thank you to our students. You're the reason we're all here and what we do every day, so thank you for sharing your story. As Ileana mentioned, my name is Jason Bentley. I'm the Director of Development here at the college. Today, we get the honor of the commitments of a couple and a foundation who joined the Legacy Society. Mr. Steiner explained the qualifications for membership in the Legacy Society. The term legacy is commonly described by using elements of nature. The oak tree is frequently used because it is a symbol of strength, nobility, and longevity. David Brower uses another element of nature in this statement. We must begin thinking like a river if we are to leave a legacy of beauty and life for future generations. The legacies that are shared today flow like a river through our hallways at Delaware Tech with beauty and life. I will introduce each inductee with a short biography and then ask those who are present today to come forward to be inducted by Dr. Brainard, Dr. Smith, and Dr. Owens. Let's begin with the first inductees. Jane Knaus and Cynthia Myers. Education is a common thread between Jane and Cindy. Cindy's path started in Baltimore, Maryland, with a strong foundation in academics, which then led her to the St. Mary's College of Southern Maryland to study biology. Cindy worked in hospital labs before pursuing her childhood dream of becoming a veterinarian. After completing her degree at the Virginia-Maryland Regional College of Veterinary, she worked in a practice setting before launching a niche business that focused on house calls and a personalized veterinary touch. Cindy is still sought after today from her clients, even though she is retired. Jane grew up in a unique international perspective as the daughter of a doctor who worked for the World Health Organization. She was able to see how poverty, lack of health care, and fewer educational opportunities can impact lives. Jane's father died unexpectedly when she was 11 years old, and she was forced to work her way through high school and college. She graduated from the University of California at Berkeley with a degree in fine arts. Her interest in art led her to Montgomery College, where she became the creative director. Jane wants to share the opportunity for the American dream with others to help improve their lives. And Cindy, shaped by her own academic path, wants to pay it forward to a new generation of students. To summarize why they are leaving a legacy at Delaware Tech, Jane and Cindy said, "In the 26 years that we have been together, we have appreciated how education has transformed our lives and expanded our opportunities with regard to our careers and personal relationships. We would like to help others who are in the same position as we were when we were younger, where scholarships made all the difference in our success." Jane and Cindy decided they wanted to create a scholarship endowment through their estate plans. This scholarship endowment will assist students in the associate degree nursing program and who demonstrate financial need. Jane and Cindy, please come forward to get inducted.
Hello, everybody. Cindy and I are very happy to be part of the Legacy Society. We wouldn't be standing here today if we hadn't been fortunate enough to get scholarships and work-study support when we were in college. Education is the great equalizer in our society, and we want to share that opportunity with others. Thank you very much.
All right, for the next one, the Irene P. Sorbara Foundation. Irene Phillips Kelso Sorbara, a native of Lewis, Delaware, dedicated her life to educating the youth of Sussex County, caring for beach visitors, and serving with members of her church. She was passionate about education. She graduated from the University of Delaware in 1961 with a degree in elementary education. She devoted her entire 30-year career to the Cape Henlopen School District at Rehoboth Elementary School. Now I'm going to ask Pat Campbell-White to come and help me with the rest of the information. She has a special touch to the family.
What is it that Paul Harvey says? Now I get to tell you the rest of the story. Irene Phillips Kelso Sorbara was, in fact, the only child of Clifford and Mildred Phillips, their firstborn. And she loved cats. Cindy Myers, you'll appreciate this very much. At the age of 26, she married Sonny Kelso in Rehoboth, who passed away 6 years later, and Irene loved cats. Then for 27 and a half years, she was married to a naval architect, Sam Sorbara, who passed away 14 months before Irene did. As Jason mentioned, and you can see on the cards, she spent 30 years as a teacher at Rehoboth Elementary. Her mother, Mildred, was a nurse and mainly did private duty nursing. A member of the Presbyterian Church in Rehoboth, and in 1985, she was worthy matron with the Unity Chapter of the Order of the Eastern Star, dedicated to charity, truth, and loving kindness. She, in fact, was a loving daughter in the care of her mother in her later years, and her mother's sister, Margaret Moore, who actually, Irene predeceased her Aunt Margaret. Irene did pass away in 2007, just 5 months before her 69th birthday, and her love of cats never became any less. She's officially referred to as my first cousin once removed, because in the scheme of family relationships, Like my mom, even though she was an only child, Mom's dad, my granddad, and Irene's father were brothers, and from a clan of 12, whose birth dates span from 1882 to 1905, all born in the Rehoboth Beach area. And that part of the family, actually, we've been able to trace back to 1744 in the Rehoboth area. And she loved cats. I remember being in her home. She was one of those cousins that finally one day said, like I've heard other cousins say, you know, we're going to stop getting together when it's just family funeral time. And she planned a very big cousins reunion. And there were a lot of cousins at her house outside of Rehoboth, but there were more cats. Seeing her at school in Rehoboth when my children were little and went to school there was special. We're sitting in Grotto at the next table to her having pizza and seeing every third person that came in and recognized her as one of their former teachers or having been a teacher at Rehoboth. It's quite an honor that Del Tech, as a member of the Foundation Council at Del Tech, has been able to be a beneficiary. The students of Del Tech who are in education and nursing are able to be beneficiaries of the Foundation Trust. So as a member of the Del Tech Education Foundation Council, it's an honor and a privilege to share this information about my mom's cousin and also for the benefit of all the students for decades to come that will become part of the Sorbara Trust in the Legacy Society. Thank you. Are you gonna call her up? Dad, are you gonna call it down?
Ms. Sorbara probably didn't realize how big of an impact that the trust that she created would have on the residents of Sussex County today. In addition to supporting Delaware Tech, the Sorbara Foundation assists Sussex County residents enrolled in the Beebe School of Nursing and other higher education institutions in the state. In the less than 3 years that Delaware Tech has received the scholarship funding, the Irene P. Sorbara Foundation Scholarship has assisted approximately 115 students with more than $231,000, which is an average award of a little over $2,000 per student per year. The parameters of the scholarship are very unique and are written to assist mostly adult students who do not meet the qualifications for the federal Pell Grant. These students are mostly relying upon loans or paying their way through college and might be an only source of scholarship funding. Her legacy lives on through the lives of the nursing and education students at Delaware Tech. Today, I'd like to recognize 3 of the trustees from the Sorbara Foundation who could not be here today. They are Jenny Keith, Connie Costigan, and Amy Lear. But we are joined by a representative from PNC Wealth Management, and that's Chad. So Chad Malkus, PNC.
Vice President and Senior Supervisor.
So now that we have Pat and Chad up here, I'd like to ask Dr. Smith, Dr. Brainard, and Dr. Owens to come back up. Thank you. On behalf of everyone at Delaware Tech, I'd like to thank you to all of our Legacy Society members for your trust in our work and your commitment to our mission. Thank you.
Thank you hasn't been said enough yet. On behalf of Delaware Tech, of course, we thank all the Legacy Society members for your trust in the work done here at the college and the commitment to the mission. We thank all donors, not only those in the Legacy Society. We must also thank those who prepared this event, Appreciate all the work that they did. Many thanks to the students who participated here. And we want to conclude our event today with a special thank you from John Tenefas, who's a general business major here. John?
Thank you for being a friend. Traveled down a road and back again. Your heart is true, you're a pal and a confidant. I'm not ashamed to say, I hope it'll always stay this way. My hat is off, won't you stand up and take a bow? And if you threw a party, invited everyone you knew, you would see the biggest gift would be from me, and the card attached would say, thank you for being a friend. 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 If it's a car you lack, I'd surely buy you a Cadillac. Anything you need, any time of the night or day. I'm not ashamed to say, I hope it'll always stay this way. My hat is off, won't you stand up and take a bow? When we both get older, with canes of hair and gray, you have no fear, even though it's hard to hear. I will stand real close and say, thank you for being a friend. 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 I want to thank you, 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 I want to thank you. Thank you for being a friend. 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 Traveled down the road and back again. Your heart is true, you're a pal and a confidant.